Hey guys, I am outside giving Munch a walk and thought it would be a good time to talk maintenance and repairs. If you have seen my other videos, you know what was going on with my blowout on my driver's side rear tire, and I ended up having to replace both of them on the back, and it became a whole thing. Well, when I got to my next destination, where I had planned to do some maintenance and take care of a few things, well, actually I had quite a list of things, but it was a spot where I was going to be for several days and wouldn't have to worry about not having access to the camper. And I had hoped I would make it there in time, but obviously that didn't work out as far as the tires went. But I did get the camper in for some much needed maintenance. Show you over there. I also took the car in for a little more TLC to get the front tires replaced and get a oil change, stuff like that, just general maintenance. And well, the front tires gave me the same problem, and that was a bigger ordeal than I had planned on. Here's the situation. This is something that I had never heard of before, and he's decided to really explore. Sorry. The reason for that is something I'd never heard of, which is swollen lug nuts. Apparently it is a more common problem because a lot of car manufacturers these days are not using steel lug nuts anymore, and they put an aluminum cap on them that I guess makes them look pretty or makes them look more legit or something. I don't know, but what I do know is that when you are driving along and after some time, the lug nuts or that aluminum cover loosens and you get debris and moisture in there, and it causes corrosion and swelling, and then that can make it a real nightmare to get the lug nuts off if you have to change the tires, and or when you have to change the tires. And like with mine, my car was owned by someone in, I think, Ohio, where they use a lot of salt on the roads in the winter. And so there have been a lot of spots on the underbody of the car that have had rust and erosion because of that. So I guess the lug nuts are the other part of that. At any rate, that has become a whole thing. And on top of that, I had camper stuff. They fixed my awning, and they ordered, oh great. Okay, sorry, I had to break away because Munch got out of his harness. And he thinks he is a wild and free cat now. So we're gonna let him indulge that fantasy for a little bit longer while I finish what I was saying. The camper, they fixed the awning, and they fixed some electrical issues that were showing up. The leak that I'd had in the ceiling was because some of the bolts had come loose for where the AC was anchored to the top of the camper. So they redid those and put some sealant on them so it shouldn't leak anymore. They checked it to make sure there aren't going to be any issues coming up. That basically they service the AC so that when I'm in the hot areas this summer, I won't have a failure with the AC. And then let's see what else. Oh, they fixed the little light that was broke. The cover on the light that was broken, and I believe there's something else that they did. The problem is they were going to replace actually all 3 tires on the camper because the spare needed to be fixed, and then the one that blew, and then the one that hadn't been touched, they said that it could go at any time. They also, the panel for the access to the refrigerator outside, it is on order and won't be in until Monday. And then, and I also asked them to replace the latch and lock thing on the door of the camper. And that's going to be a few days coming in as well. So I have had to reshuffle and cancel reservations and get new ones, and right in the middle of summer when everybody is out camping and going to RV parks and things like that, and part of that over a holiday. So like one of the biggest camping holidays there, or outdoors holidays there is. But I managed to get it all, and I feel like I have covered all my bases, but it has been quite an afternoon. So I guess all this boils down to is that repairs and maintenance are a really important part of everything that I'm trying to accomplish right now. It's a good lesson just in general because, take care of your stuff and it'll take care of you. My timing just didn't quite line up to avoid headaches and some extra expense. But, it's all working out, and I think that I have everything covered now, so that unless there's something unforeseeable that comes up, I shouldn't have too many worries as I'm continuing through this next leg of my trip and moving into some different climates and terrain. So anyway, I guess that's all. I'm going to go wrangle this cat now. I'll talk to you later.
Well, this is my first morning back in the camper. It has been 2 weeks since this whole saga started with my blowout on the interstate and the ensuing nightmare of getting the lug nuts off and getting rims redone and a variety of other things that have happened. And I ended up being kind of in limbo longer because the tires that I needed for my camper took longer to come in because they're a specialized kind of thing. That's not something that most tire shops just keep in stock. So it feels good to be back home. I know it's kind of weird because I'm in a camper, but this is my home for the next several months and has been for a few months. And I can tell you, Munch and I both are very happy to have our beds back and have our stuff back. When you are living on the road and in limbo like this, it's the little things that make it comfortable and possible. And just having access to the things you use on a regular basis where they're supposed to be, and not having to rummage through a bag or run out to the car because you forgot to bring something into where you're staying, and all that kind of stuff. And just the familiarity, it makes a difference. So I've had my first sip of coffee. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of it, and I will give you a little tour of the other things that we did to wrap all of this up. So outside, we ended up getting the stabilizer jacks in the front that had gotten bent secured again, and I am still waiting for the panel on the outside of the camper that encloses the refrigerator access. However, I ended up having them remove the refrigerator because I was having a recurring problem of the refrigerator door coming open when I was towing. No matter what I packed in front of it to try and secure it, it would come open, and I was losing lots of food. And so I invested in this fancy job. It's a Dometic cooler, and it's
powered. I can plug it into the camper when I am docked somewhere, and then I can plug it into my Yeti cooler when I am towing. And it has a control panel, so I can set the temperature that I want for things, and it will maintain it. And it does not draw a lot of power. It's you'd think something this big would be a real power suck, but I think it's like 5 watts once it's at temperature to maintain it. So it's very nice. But all I have right now in here is my ice packs and a bunch of cuts of elk that one of my clients gave me, some sausage and some tenderloin, and I am definitely going to be enjoying those along the way. We also did new dome lights. These are mounted and wired in. Apparently there was a short in the others, and that's why they weren't working. I don't know how or when that happened, but so I have new ones, and they turn on and off really easily, and I'm very, very happy about that. And let's see, what else did I have them do? Oh, I got a new lock on the door. It looks the same as the old one, but operates the same, but that one actually works. And let's see. Oh, the air conditioner, they got the mounts secured on it, so it should not leak anymore. And they changed filters and did some maintenance on it to make sure that it's going to work for me throughout all the heat of the summer. And I'm actually, where I am right now, going to be seeing a thunderstorm in a couple of hours, so we'll get a first test of how well they did on that. I think that's pretty much everything inside the camper that I had them do. So you'll see I couldn't set up the awning fully because I parked next to this tree. I didn't really have a whole lot of option on that. They said that the support poles were working, and they work the same as they did before, but I went ahead and set everything up so that I could let it air out some, because I had to pack it up wet the last time, and so I didn't want it to mildew or anything. And I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I mean, they're holding okay, but they just don't work securely enough for my preference, so I may have to do something else with them. But I have all new tires on each side, and I finally got my spare tire not all mangled again. And I'll take you around to this side and show you. This is the panel I'm waiting on, and this is all the insulation fluff that was around the refrigerator. I'm gonna have to pack it in differently once I get the panel. And no, we're not going outside, buddy. Not right now. Right now, my Dometic cooler is just kind of shoved in this space where the refrigerator was, but I plan to put it on a shelf with gliders that'll pull out, so I can push it all the way back in there and then pull it out as I need it and need to access it. There's a support bar that goes across the bottom, and it's just kind of like propped on that at the moment. But I'm in a pretty rural area right now. The next campground I'm going to is pretty accessible to a bigger city, so I'll be able to get the supplies I need to build a custom shelf in there that this can sit on and pull out, and then that will make things really, really handy.
So that's the big tour and report on all of my maintenance and repairs, and hopefully I won't have anything else to add for a while. I am happy to report that the fix they did on the leak on the roof held very well in the rain. And yeah, I will post a picture when I get my shelf done for my cooler, and you can see what I set up there.
I'm fairly handy. I think I can manage that one by myself, but yeah, it's been quite an ordeal, and it's been pretty expensive. So I am really hoping that I can avoid any other costly repairs for the rest of my trip, and just keep going. I'm ready to get back on the road and see the rest of this crazy country. Take care, you guys. See you on the road. Bye.